Welcome to Code Experience.
Hi everyone, welcome back to this introductory Kotlin course for aspiring Android developers. This course is for complete beginners as well as professionals wanting to get into Android development using Kotlin as their chosen programming language. In our previous lesson, we created our first Kotlin program that outputs hello world to the screen. So in this particular video, we're just going to do a little bit of some recap on the program structure. So every Kotlin program has a main function like we mentioned in our last video, and it is simply the entry point of the application. And so to declare this main function, we simply use the keyword fun, which is short for function, followed by the name of the function. In our case, the name of our function is main, and then you add parentheses. Now, before version 1.3 of Kotlin, it was required to use the main function with parameters like args, full colon, array, open angle brackets, and string. So args here is just the name of the parameter, and then so you can name it anything you like. And then array string indicates that the parameter is an array of strings. So altogether, this indicates that args is an array where each element is a string. So this allows the program to accept and use command line arguments. So the main function is something you will see in every Kotlin program. Now, as you can see here, we are getting some error messages. This one is saying function main must have a body. This is to say that our declaration of this main function is not yet complete. So you will need to add curly brackets to open and close the function. So any code written inside the main function's curly brackets will be executed. For example, let's say println function, the built-in function. Println, let's say we want to print hello world. Hello world. So if you run this code, it will give you the output hello world. Let's check what this error message is, this warning message is saying. Parameter args is never used. This is, like I mentioned earlier, this was used in the older versions before version 1.3, but after version 1.3, these parameters are no longer necessary. So we can just remove them because they do nothing, and voila, we have no problems found. So our code is clean. Yes, like I was saying, any code written inside the main function's curly brackets will be executed. So if I remove this from the main function and put it outside, it will give me warning messages already, expecting a top level declaration. This is because this cannot run outside the main function. Another thing to note is that in Kotlin, code statements do not have to end with a semicolon, like in other programming languages like Java, C++, or C#. So as you can see here, the warning message saying redundant semicolon. Yeah, so the semicolon in Kotlin is not necessary unless otherwise, in a case where you're trying to write your program with as few lines of code as possible. Let's say I add another line of code that says I am here. So this will run. There'll be no errors, no problems found, because the semicolon is used to separate two statements. And as you can see here, hello world is printed on one line and I am here is printed on another line. So you can use a semicolon to write as few lines of code as possible. So the semicolon in this case is just used to separate two statements. Alright, so I'm sure by now we know what println function does. It's just a built-in function that is used to print a line of text to the standard output, usually to the console. But there are several other ways of outputting text to the standard output. We will look at them in the later videos. But for now, this was the basic Kotlin program structure. I hope you learned something, and see you in the next video.